seems like just standard generic play is working well enough for him. There's no reason for him to take any kind of risks. But if he wants to, he has a whole lot of room to work with. He can afford to just give away a loss or two without really feeling any pressure. And it's a very powerful position to be in. And plus, just generically, he's looked in complete control thus far. To be fair, Massa was down 0-2 against Kane and managed to come back from that, but that was not as dominant a performance as we've seen from Huck thus far. Kane looked like he was making some mistakes. It looked like he could lose. Huck has just been complete control. No problems at all thus far for him.
Yeah, it's looking grim, I'm afraid, for the Root Hope here, and the man that was claimed by America for the purposes of this tournament, since they ran out of real Americans, is the guy that is looking very likely to take this whole thing. Yunsu will be the next and potentially final map in this tournament here.
And that is going to be pretty scary for Massa, I think. Huck has been the aggressor in all of the game. Well, that previous game, I guess Massa tried to do some weird stuff before Huck went and killed him. But most of the games, Huck has been the one on the offensive and has been the one making things happen. And Yunsu is a very small, very aggressive map. And it also has a very exposed ramp. And every single game thus far, he's gone for the Blink Stalker plus Force Field Sentry shenanigans. And this is an absolutely great map for that. So if he does that again, I could definitely see it being pretty successful. On here in particular.
Yeah, well, Huck currently has Terran selected once again, so maybe he's actually looking to play that time around, but seems unlikely. I have a feeling that...
I think he's off on Twitter yelling at Thorin some more.
I believe that's actually happening right now. I'm going to go spectate that for a little while. Sounds like a good idea. We will take a very quick commercial break while that is happening, and when we're back, we could be seeing the last map of this tournament, folks. Please do not go anywhere. We will be bringing you Game 4 after the break. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to SHOUTcraft America Winter, and we are going into the next game very, very shortly. It's going to be on Yunsu. Wow, Massa's got a mountain to climb right now.
That he does. 3-0. Having to win 4 games in a row against a player of Huck's caliber, not being able to afford to lose even one. And already in this series, he's gone for a pretty absurd one-base Proxy Oracle into Void Ray plus Warp Gate into Blink Stalker attack. As someone who's capable of doing that, winning 4 in a row against someone of that caliber, willing to take those risks, that's almost impossible to do. And especially for a player who's relatively inexperienced, not someone you would consider a top foreigner kind of talent. Very good, no doubt, but very inexperienced as well. If he does this, that would be absolutely amazing.
It would be incredible to watch. And especially after just losing map after map after map of his own picks, This is going to be ugly. It's going to be very difficult for him to do. If he can pull it back, it will be amazing. And I'm hoping that he can. But this is, I mean, this is not so much a mountain. He has to build a rocket out of small pieces of wood and coils of string, launch it successfully into space in order to win this. I mean, it is that difficult against a player like Huck. So let's see if he can do it, folks. Here we go. Welcome to Yunsu, and to potentially Rootmaster's final map of the tournament. He is in the blue trunks, and he is playing Terran to the northeast. He is currently down 3 maps to 0 against this guy, who I can now safely say is the scariest crow. To the southwest position in the red trunks playing Protoss, it is E.G. Huck.
I still maintain that Hitman's scarier. Huck has the combination of cheesy and skilled, but Hitman has the unpredictability. I think that's far scarier.
Hitman has the combination of cheese and cheese.
Yes, the cheese upon the cheese upon the cheese.
Indeed. It's just
so
many
levels of
delicious layers of cheese.
Well, yet another different build from Masa here, not going with his CC first. There's almost no way he would be doing that on this map. It would just be so dangerous to do. But also not going for the gas first, so more like we're going to see just a Reaper expansion, something of that sort on here, which is a little bit more conservative, a little bit more normal. That could be kind of scary. Maybe he's decided he's already taken his shots at it, and he's just going to try and play normal and not risk anything. And that kind of conservative mindset is not going to win you 4 games in a row. He needs to be making things happen. So, I don't know. That's kind of going out on a limb there. Maybe reading a bit too much in. Yeah, he did. He tried and it failed miserably, so what do you do from there? He just kind of needs to play better.
I mean, pretty much. That's kind of where it goes, isn't it? Huck is outclassing him right now. Masa is a good player. We've seen him against Kane. He played really well. Saw him against Major. He played really well. But... Oh, looks like we may be losing Greg once again. But the reality of it is that he is going up against Huck, who is not to be trifled with, who is highly experienced, who has some of the best ASCII dancing that I have ever seen. And we might be having very much a lagged out Greg at this point. Nope, oh wait, nope. Okay, this is unfortunate. Very much so. We'll try and perhaps pause the game and see what happens. But if we lose Greg, I will just continue on my own and we'll try and get him back after this game, assuming that does end up happening. Assuming there is a game after that. Well, I can hear some sort of muffled keyboard sounds in the background. Did we lose him? We are about to lose him, aren't we? 3, 2, 1, and... Well, we paused the game and kept him in, but... We'll see if he comes back. Are you back?
I can hear you now.
Okay, great.
So, it's my internet, but I'm not sure what's going on. Usually this doesn't happen unless I'm getting DDoSed, and it's not DDoS. So, I really have no idea.
Alright, well, it's only happened a couple of times. Must be like, it would be the world's most ineffective DDoS if that were the case, but... I think we're good to go, by the looks of it.
I guess so. Last time it happened, it stabilized and then was okay, so hopefully.
Alright, I'll let the players know that that is the case, and we will go for an unpause here. Not that it really matters, it is the start of the game, but I will count them in.
Game resumed.
Alright, we're looking good.
And now we've successfully iced Huck, and Masa can now begin his comeback.
Indeed. Oh.
Ha! We actually did.
Indeed. Now he is very much shaken that he's now on tilt.
And the tilt begins, yes. 4-0 landslide, Masa.
My apologies for that. I assumed he was there because his ASCII dancing micro was truly impressive.
He's actually, as questionable as his typing can be in some other regards, he's very, very good at typing faces and smileys and spamming things. It's actually impressive how fast he is at it.
It sounds like
it sounds silly, but I'm actually being kind of serious. Like, I don't know how he does it so fast.
It sounds like a useful talent to have in these tournaments.
That it does. If ever there's downtime, he can take advantage of it better than anyone else.
Absolutely. Unexpected it was. It was just not even hesitation. Just straight into the spam immediately.
Oh, there's actually a Reaper in his base. And the Reaper dies. That's...
Oh my.
I don't know if he lost any... He did not lose any workers, and he killed the Reaper. So that's pretty bad. You really need to keep that Reaper alive for the secondary scout when you go in, like, the 6-minute mark-ish, and check for a robo or extra gateways or whatever kind of tech it's going to be. Plus just the map presence, the fact that your Protoss opponent can't really send his units out and attack you for fear of the Reaper hopping in and killing off a few probes. So losing that just makes Hux so much more comfortable now.
Yeah, certainly. Masa is sneaking a scout around, and he should be able to avoid the view of the mothership core, so that's not too bad. We do see Huck expanding. He really isn't demonstrating any wish to just end this immediately. He just seems really, really comfortable, and again, he's now playing like he is the better player.
And you can't really blame him. He's up 3-0, and they've been very comfortable, very easy wins, even winning when it really seemed like he shouldn't, like make...
Well, okay, we just lost Greg on the call, but I'll try and bring him back anyway. But, I mean, his point was definitely valid, honestly, as far as I'm concerned. We're going to have to pause this pretty much immediately.
Game paused.
Just going to make sure that that's all sorted out. We don't want that lag happening. Anyway, I mean, the point is definitely valid. That he has been winning games that you wouldn't necessarily expect him to win. I would certainly say that one base game should not have gone in his favor, but it did anyway, which was just shocking to me. I was really surprised to see that happen. But there you go, and I think that is really indicative of just how good Huck actually is in comparison to Masa.
Okay, I can hear you again now. So it seems...
I paused the game as soon as that happened. You haven't actually lagged out of the game, so I do have you.
Well, I have no idea what's going on, so I'm not really sure what we should do.
We could maybe try it once more, and then if it happens again, then I guess I'll just finish things out. Just to make sure
We should probably let them know that, because I know Huck's getting annoyed.
Okay, I will let them know. He's singing now in the chat. This is not okay. Just checking that these guys are ready to go. Obviously, I don't want to... Okay, they're ready. I'm going to give them the count-in. So this is kind of matters since there's a mothership core in the base.
Game resumed.
There we go.
Yeah. He will just recall out if he gets stuck, so nothing too important likely to happen here.
Yep, and that's exactly what he does. So he does a little bit of damage here and there. He only kills a single worker, but that's to be expected. The DPS of a mothership core is DPS of the average kitten.
I don't know, kittens can be pretty scary. Especially when they feel like stepping on your keyboard.
Yep, that can disrupt championship series. We're killing esports quite literally there.
A very, very conservative build from Huck this time, not going for the quick blink harassment that he's done pretty much every other game so far. And that's weird, because this is a great map for it. Very easy access to that ramp, very easy access to the main base. But Huck actually getting a quick forge this time, which he has not done yet this series, as well as a quick robo. So he's definitely playing for the mid game. He's happy with his 3-0 lead. He wants to not take any risks, just very safely close it out. Getting an immortal. So it is a possibility that he transitions into an immortal timing if he wants to make me look silly. And 3 barracks. Oh, I actually missed the 3 barracks throughout all the lag issues coming out from Masa. So he's doing a pretty solid timing attack here. But against Protoss, it's just so hard to do damage early now with, of course, always the sentries, the force fields and whatnot. But now the mothership core as well. Though he does not have enough mana for a photon overcharge just yet.
Yeah, that recall actually did cost him a little bit there. So Masa may be able to do something, but obviously it can't really last for that long unless Huck makes a gigantic mistake and loses his mothership core. Time Warp has now been placed, but this is just going to get absolutely crushed.
And he loses everything for... Oh, he gets a 3rd sentry. So he got 3 sentries and 2 probes. At least he got something out of it. But losing a lot of units there, and... doing something like that against Huck is kind of inviting, and he immediately drops 3 gateways. Huck smells blood. He's going to go for an immortal all-in now. Losing units like that early on is just asking him to come try and attack you. And he's always looking for any excuse to do that anyway.
Well, this could very much be the answer that we've been looking for. Who exactly is the dominant continental American player? Well, if this series is anything to go by, it's certainly E.G. Huck. Can Masa actually hold the pressure that's coming in his direction? +1 is about to finish for the Protoss here. Stim is about to be done for the Terran player, which is nice, but no medevacs. I believe no combat shield either. Yes, I would be correct there. +1 is nowhere near finished.
He does have concussive shells and stim, so if the attack goes bad for Huck, it's going to go really bad. But only the 1 bunker, no SCV pulls, no combat shield. Medevacs are not going to be out in time for the initial engagement. This is going to be pretty scary. Those 2 immortals are going to take down the bunker so quickly. And with he's going so Marauder heavy against immortals, that's not really what you just so quickly. God damn it.
Game
You want me out?
You're fine now, by the sounds of it.
Yeah, every time we pause, I don't know what's going on. I've never had this happen before.
Yeah, I made sure to pause it before this attack began. You can jump out if you like, just to make sure what's happening, because, I mean, this may very well be the final map, but what do you think? Do you want to jump out, or do you want to try it once more?
I mean, it's entirely up to you, because I don't know if this is going to keep happening or not. Last time it stabilized, but this is the third time.
Oh,
I guess
that was Huck
I guess
just
they have
resuming
to
it.
keep going.
Yep, okay. I guess they are going to keep going then.
I think Huck just wants to end it quick, not worry about anything else. And I think he's going to be capable of it.
He's got the units for it. He already has an edge, certainly. Marsa scouts that. He knows what's coming at him. The factory, I think, he was going to try and sneakily maybe place it down, but that's certainly not going to happen. And here it comes. The force fields are pretty good. The Immortals focusing down on the bunker, which is down already. The Zealots trying to make their way in there. SCV's coming off the line here. The remainder of the Terran army just fell to pieces. 27 army supply to 14, now 35, with an additional warpin coming in behind this. Huck is looking to take this with a clean sweep 4-0, having not really dropped too many maps this tournament, not dropping any to his opponent in the finals. And up goes Huck. He is making his way up the ramp, trying his best to see what's there, but there really isn't anything to stop him. There's nothing for him to really have to worry about. The natural falls, and the ramp is now firmly in control of the Protoss, and Marsa is just going to try and get as many units together as he can and just hope to be able to throw this back.
Yeah, but at this point, Maz is basically just going through his death animation. He's 3 Marauders and 3 Marines against a 91 supply Protoss. And it's really not... He does take out the Marauder. It's nice for him. A little moral victory there. But really, just so many Protoss units coming in from Huck. He's well upgraded behind it. He has a full 2-base economy. There's absolutely no hope for Massa at this point. It's just kind of whenever Huck decides he wants to go up the ramp.
Yeah, it really does look like it. Huck would probably have to be asleep at the keyboard to actually lose from this position, as anticlimactic as it seems, but Huck has played a dominant game. A nice little stim out there from Massa to try his best. He's able to dodge the force fields quite nicely, but I think for these Marauders, just a case of saying, let's leave this base before we die horribly and maybe try and take a holiday somewhere in Fiji. Right now, Huck has control of that ramp, and it's only a matter of time.
That is. All the SUVs come off. Massa just enjoying his last few minutes in the SHOUTcraft tournament. Wondering where it all went wrong.
Well, I think where it went wrong is he went up against Huck, who has apparently been on fire today when it comes to the PvT matchup. That is the GG. Huck takes a 4-0 sweep in this tournament, and he is your SHOUTcraft America Winter Champion.
And pretty easily at that. A 4-0 win in the finals, looking absolutely dominant all the way through. Not even breaking a sweat. It's just every game, Massa tried to make something happen. Huck batted it away and then counterattacked and killed him pretty easily.
Yeah, that really was the way that it went, honestly. Huck performed phenomenally well in that game. Massa didn't look like his equal, honestly.
No, not at all. It was really depressing because Massa looked pretty good, played very well, beat some really good players on his way to the finals. He definitely earned his spot there. Just Huck had the harder bracket and went through the harder competition. Well, actually, I don't know. He went through Hitman and he went through Muslim. It was pretty tough competition. He came from the harder end of the bracket and then won pretty easily once he got to the finals.
Yeah, that certainly seems to be the way of it. But there you go, a triumphant Huck. I think that's his actual 3rd tournament win this year. He has been doing fairly well in the minor leagues and some of these smaller tournaments. And he is now able to walk away with another cool $2,500, which is nothing to be sniffed at.
Nope, nothing at all. And that kind of thing, it's definitely a pride thing for him as well. Just maintaining the title of top American and or Canadian, whichever he chooses to be, is definitely something that he holds in pretty high regard and definitely cares about a lot. Like you said, he chose to skip out on IEM Singapore for the purpose of practicing here and focusing on this tournament and qualifying for it.
That is very true. We're going to have a winner's interview with your SHOUTcraft America Winter Champion, Chris Loringer, a.k.a. E.G. Huck, once he decides to pick up his phone. But he now adds that victory to his win at Landhammer 2013, which is a 3-2 against Minigun for the same amount of money as it happens, $2,500. And he also won the 2013 MLG Summer Invite against QXC 3-1. All right, and it looks like we have Huck on the call. Huck,
Hey.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, that went surprisingly easy for you, honestly. After a couple of maps lost lower in the bracket, you go into the finals, and I've got to say, particularly in the second game, it didn't really look like you were going to get that, but it seems like you were able to exploit a critical mistake in Marsa's positioning and able to take control of the high ground. What was going through your mind when you were sitting on one base and constantly sort of hammering up against his front wall there?
Well, my build was really shitty. I'm not gonna lie. While I was doing it, I was like, man, this is not good. But I didn't really practice that map a lot, so I just kind of freestyled and tried to copy from SOS. But the build order I obviously messed up a lot. And then after that, I was just like, okay, well, I'm gonna try to rely on my micro. And I remember MC had a failed Stargate against Thorazine in WCS a while ago. So when that happened, I decided to follow up with Blink, and hopefully it would work out. I think if he put a turret at his natural, he would have definitely won, because I got like a lot of free kills there with SCVs. But overall, I think he definitely outplayed me. Just at the end, I had better control in that game.
Did you have any real trepidations going up against Marsa, considering the opponents that you could have had in this tournament? Is he someone that you run into on ladder a lot?
Yeah, we play a decent amount. I would have preferred to play him, I think, than Major. Kane, it would have been kind of close. I think I'm a little bit of a favorite to Kane just because he's also playing from Europe. And obviously I dodged Scarlet by playing Hitman, but actually Hitman beats me most of the time too on ladder. So a lot of people in this tournament actually beat me a decent amount on ladder. I think I just played well and got lucky as well.
I would like to ask you a little bit about the Hitman games, honestly. Firstly, we were scratching our head as to whether or not that proxy void ray is something that's all that common in PvP. Do you run into that a lot?
A decent amount. I think it got popularized by some Protoss in Korea a long time ago. I want to say Pig or Piglet or something like that. I've done it in the past, and I think Hitman actually stole it from me, to be honest. I'm not sure, but I think he did. And it's a regular thing for Hitman, I think, and I definitely mix it into my play as well. I kind of messed up. I didn't get Warp Gate. I scouted it really early, which is like, I should be able to defend it, but I messed up my chronos, and I didn't start Warp Gate, and there's a lot of bad things. And if it catches you off guard, it's almost automatically GG.
Yeah, it certainly seemed that way. It didn't seem like there was a way to deal with it at that point. But were you surprised when Hitman decided to attempt 2 Blink all-ins against you, one after another?
I was surprised he did it twice in a row, but I'm not surprised he did it. Me and Hitman, once again, played each other a lot, and he like does Cannon Rush, Proxy Gateways, 4-gate Blink all-in, Proxy DT. Like, I know his Ranger builds, but he's so good at executing them, and he has it down to like the letter of like when the timing's supposed to hit and everything. So he's a really hard player to play because of that. But I just in my mind kind of cheated and made like a really quick robo without scouting. I didn't really scout at all, so I tried to play as safe and conservative as I could, and it worked out for me.
Did you find it a little bit surprising to see that he had managed to take out Scarlet 3-1?
Yeah, I mean, I know he's really good at the builds he does, and obviously everything considered, Scarlet's probably the favorite, but I was still surprised. I knew he had it in him, but after the fungal game on whatever that big blue map is, I thought Scarlet was just going to kind of have the confidence to go up against him, but I think the Robo Colossus build that he did is really, really, really strong, especially against Scarlet, who practically never makes roaches. And I think a player like Hitman that's really good at builds and really good at knowing his opponent, he actually might be a favorite against her. Going into the future, I think she'll not underestimate him as much and probably prepare a little bit more, change up her strategies, hopefully.
Well, you are now the SHOUTcraft America Winter Champion, and this is actually your 3rd title for 2013. You also picked up Landhammer, as well as the MLG 2013 Summer Invitational. So what's next for you? What tournaments would you like to attend in 2014?
Pretty much everything that I can. All the premier events. If you hold another SHOUTcraft, I can't thank you enough. NA ladder has really been not good, and it's since the start of the qualifying process, I've had the best practice I've had in probably a year. just because everybody was competing. And I think NA is pretty on par with Europe in almost every way. And I think not most, but a lot of the Europeans and North Americans I've talked to that have played both servers agree with me. So I'm really thankful for that. And I just hope to attend, DreamHacks. I know IEM qualifiers coming up in a week or two, so I hope to qualify for that. And just, hopefully a WCS, that would be the best.
That would indeed. All right, Huck, is there anything else that you'd like to say to the fans, to the sponsors, to anything else here just to round off this interview?
Not so much. I'm just gonna say happy holidays for everybody. Thank you for supporting me, and I hope you guys have a great vacation, and I hope you're excited for 2014 StarCraft 2.
All right, wonderful. Chris, congratulations. You are champion of SHOUTcraft America Winter. You want to check your PayPal a little bit later because you'll have a little bit extra spending money this Christmas.
Thank you.
All right, guys, that really does about wrap things up, but I would like to give some thank yous before we wrap up this tournament. First, a big thank you to the person that really made this happen, or should I say the company that made it happen. That is shoutcraft.ting.com. They are a mobile phone or cell phone provider in the United States, and if you're looking to switch out your plan, you might want to have a word with them. Shoutcraft.ting.com will get you $25 off your plan, and I believe they'll also give you a discount on early termination fees if you're switching over from another network. They made this happen, and I would like to thank them very much for actually supporting esports and for supporting StarCraft 2, because they have made a really great event possible. Of course, a big thanks have to go out to my co-caster, Gregor Fields. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Oh, thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Any shout-outs you'd like to give while you're here?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Ting as well for putting on this great tournament. Like Chris said, it's just North American scene can use any shot in the arm it gets, and this has been an absolutely great one, as the previous SHOUTcraft tournaments were. So hopefully we can keep having them. And then thanks to my personal sponsor as well, TT Esports, sponsoring a bunch of people in esports, including the team that Hitman was on. I wasn't actually aware of that beforehand.
Yeah, indeed.
So we owe them a lot of thanks, I think. You check them out at thermaltake.com.
Absolutely. I'd like to give out a few more thank yous. Big shout out to our admin, Vaqueth, who is responsible for everything in this tournament, which includes getting the wrong team for Marsa. So we can blame him for that, but we can thank him for everything else. So big thanks to him. I'd like to give a big shout out to the team Gameheart, who are responsible for all of the maps and actually adding in the new logos, the SHOUTcraft America Winter logo on the map. That is all they're doing, adding Sif Gaming in there, and just providing a really great set of tools for tournament creators. I really do believe that Gameheart is actually the best set of maps that we currently have, and I think that tournaments should be strongly considering supporting Gameheart going forward. And they've also had a successful Kickstarter and are evidently getting things done at a pretty rapid rate. So big shout out to them. Also, I'd like to, of course, thank my wife for doing all of the bracket work here and doing a hell of a lot of the logistical stuff, which includes paying the players and getting out the shoutcraft.com website. She did a fantastic job with that. Shoutcraft's really always been her tournament, so huge thanks to her for that. Big thanks to Chris, our designer, for doing all of the great assets for this, and a big shout out to Brum for the loop that we have right here, that nice and pretty purple loop for SHOUTcraft America, and the intro assets that we had created as well. Other thank yous, of course, to all of the players of this tournament, since they have put on a great performance, so thank you very much for attending the tournament and putting out your best. Big thanks to the guys over on Team Liquid, particularly those responsible for dealing with the live report threads. November Storm gets a big shout out for that. He is, in fact, from Canada, so I would imagine that he is particularly happy with this result. He's been dealing with the live reports, so big thanks to them for that. And I'm trying to think if I've forgotten anybody. I certainly hope not. I would like to thank everyone who watched this tournament, and in particular those who have subscribed to the channel. That $5 a month really does actually mean a lot. It's really helping to support Axiom and the tournament ventures that we have going on here. So hopefully that's good for you. If you have missed any of the matches, you can watch them instantly on Twitch VOD, or you can wait for the games to be uploaded to youtube.com/Totalbiscuit, which is where you'll find all of the VODs. Some of them from today are already up, so it shouldn't really take too long for the rest of them. I think that's everybody. I really hope I'm not missing anybody out. Pretty sure that's about it, so there we go. That's it, folks. SHOUTcraft America Winter comes to an end. I'd like to wish every one of you a really great Christmas. Hopefully things go well. But I do have one final thing to announce. I've been keeping something a little bit secret from you. I apologize for the deception. But I wish to announce another event.